where horror lies.
Hey guys, Rob from Georgia here with you. I'm your regular Wednesday evening host here at BodyBags. It is week 442, I do believe. It is the second week in, which means we take from a particular year. It is the month of April, right? We take from a year, and this year happens to be 1983. What were you doing? Where were you at? I was 13, living life, enjoying the 80s as they were just unfolding to great degree. 83, I was standing in line literally almost an entire day waiting for the conclusion of one of the greatest trilogies ever, The Return of the Jedi, and saw that, got there early in the morning, ended up seeing that around 5, 6 in the evening. Literally, those were the days. You stood in line and you waited. We don't know what that's like anymore, right? But 83 also saw things like Psycho 2, one of the great sequels of our time. Lamberto Bava was at it with A Blade in the Dark, one of the great German masterpieces of serial killer truth. Angst. What else was out? Fulci was still at work. Conquest. Of course, this Peter Weller classic of unknown origin. And I'll just throw one at one of the great experiences in the movie theater as a kid, of course, was seeing Jaws 3 in 3D. Not as good as seeing Friday 3 in 3D, but that was fun. It was fun. But my pick for 83, of course, is The Deadly Spawn. Douglas McKeown, I guess that's how you say it, I don't know. From 83, shot for about $25,000. Shot on 16 millimeter. In fact, if you listen to the commentary, this is a Synapse release. Got this on a real cheap at a place like probably Second and Charles. I don't know. I don't see the sticker on the back. Usually they put their stickers on them, but it was either there or CD Warehouse. But this is a Synapse. What a freaking outstanding release Synapse did with this DVD. Caught it for like, I don't know, it's $2.99 or something, and I thought, you know what, I may need this. I'll go ahead and grab it. And man, this movie really doesn't disappoint if you understand you're going in at a $25,000 film. Now remember, Evil Dead is right behind this thing, but they had $350,000, $400,000, and of course it is a cult classic. It's one of the greats ever. This one, well, it gets talked about enough to get the Synapse treatment, but when's the last time you got into a conversation about The Deadly Spawn? Shot on 16 millimeter, as I said, and it's one of those cameras where they only got, I want to say, they only got like 21 or 22 seconds of film each time, something like weird like that. This is definitely shot on the cheap, but if you've never seen it and you do see it, if there's any way you can pick up the Synapse DVD, it is fully loaded, 2 separate commentary tracks, and then just quite a few extras. But what do you get for $25,000 in 1983? By really, I think there are a couple brothers that work here, close-knit fans, just like Evil Dead, close-knit. Unfortunately, none of them really, well, I shouldn't say none of them. John Dods, I think that's how you say his name. He would go on special effects. Poltergeist 3, yeah, I got a little cheat sheet going on here. Alien Resurrection, so X-Files. So he did work, but as far as the director and stuff, this isn't one of those movies where suddenly people branched off and went on to huge, bigger things, not like The Evil Dead. But watch this the other day. I watched it once straight through, and then I watched it once with the commentary. And this has, well, it reminds you, it feels more like a late 70s film. I don't know, I was thinking Night of the Living Dead. I was thinking Carnival of Souls. There's a few scenes that remind you of that a little bit. Yeah, it just has that older vibe. It doesn't feel like an 83 film except for the special effects. It is pretty gory. Basically what you got here is it's your classic nod to the old 50s monsters fall from outer space kind of thing. In this case, we have a meteorite that lands, befalls a few campers. I don't know why these guys are out there doing something, but they end up getting devoured by this creature. This creature ultimately makes its way to a house, must not be too far away from there, and finds its home in the basement. Now, this house is pretty heavily populated. You've got mom and dad, who are supposed to be taking off in the morning to go on a trip. You've got their two boys. One is an aspiring science major, and the other one is, of course, a horror movie, monster movie fanatic. You got aunt and uncle there in the house as well, and you got the older brother who invites 3 friends over for study date. Study day seems so weird to hear that. I've not heard a phrase like that, but that is sort of what's going on, right? And so, anyways, you get this this alien creature, the deadly spawn, who takes up residence down in the basement. And you got a few things going on. You got some nasty weather outside. The basement's flooding. They got electrical problems in the house. Electrician's supposed to be coming over. Well, mom and dad are supposed to leave first thing in the morning. Well, they don't quite get out of the house. Dad goes down in the basement to check on something. He gets devoured first. Then mom ultimately goes down to look for him. She gets devoured, but it is one of the most classic lead-up shots. You have the arm, the hand of the father seemingly reach out behind her and touch her on the shoulder. As she turns to look, the arm is actually coming out of the mouth of the deadly spawn. It is one great shot, and that's what you get in this movie. You get a lot of great gory shots for $25,000. You know what they say? Keep telling yourself it's only a movie. It's only a movie. In this case, keep telling yourself they only had $25,000. $25,000. $25,000. It's unreal what they did with this $25,000. Quite a remarkable film in the sense of what they were able to create. The shots, the stunts. They didn't have real stunt people on set. They just had actors willing to go above and beyond, climb up the side of houses onto a roof, fly through a window. I mean, stupid stuff that normally you never see in a movie. You have stunt people do it. But these guys, they all came together, and they had just an absolutely incredible amount of fun putting this bad boy together. It's not without its drama. If you listen to the commentary track and stuff, there's some drama. But with a thing like this, man, it's not perfect. It's never going to be perfect. The poster art, I mean, this is one of the more memorable VHS cover boxes, if you remember from back in the day, in the video store era. Of course, who doesn't rent this? I mean, as a kid, right? Who does not pick this VHS box up and rent it as a kid? And, you know, a lot of great puppeteering work. It's just a lot of love, a lot of work went into this movie. Now, it's not perfect. It is definitely flawed. It's probably got a serious pacing issue. But it's fun, man. It's fun. It is fun. Trying to think if I miss anything. The end, when you get to I'm not really going to review anything, reveal anything, but when you get to the end, there is a great, wonderful nod to the end moments of Night of the Living Dead, which is pretty cool. There is also a great final moment where you think the deadly spawn has been completely eradicated. Well, really, seriously, this is a monster movie, right? So monsters aren't ever really completely annihilated, not in this case. But what you get is a phenomenal lead into another film, which, of course, we never got. Well, unless you think Metamorphosis, which came out in 90, but the filmmakers in here really disregard that movie and don't want to have anything to do with it. In fact, I think it's one of the special effects artists on this movie actually went on to direct that movie, so there might have been a divide between those people, right? So yeah, 83 was a fun year, and it was one for real low budget films. Unfortunately, in this case, as I said, the filmmakers really didn't go on to bigger and better things afterwards, not like the success Raimi would have with Evil Dead, or a lot of other successes that early movies back in the early 80s had, even if they were low budget. But this is a pretty phenomenal release by Synapse. So I definitely highly recommend, if you're out and about looking for things in the wild, you know, you got your shops you go into and you happen to catch this particular release for $2.99, $3 or whatever, Shoot, even a little bit. I don't know if I would go beyond that $7.50, $10 mark. I don't know. I probably wouldn't go past 10. I don't know. It's a fun movie. It's a fun movie. And this, of course, is the special edition from Synapse. So there you have it. The Deadly Spawn. I'm trying to think what else I could say about this movie real quick. The special effects, the gore, everything happens within the house, and it is a little slow paced, but everything happens in its rightful order, I guess. I mean, one thing leads to another, leads to another, leads to another. All the major players, this is a full house, but a lot of these people are getting eaten along the way, and to your great climax the movie has in store for you. Some decapitations, bodies being thrown out of windows. There's a great scene where the uncle is found in a chair, and these little parasite, or these little creatures, when they're babies, of course it's spawning down in the basement, right, have gotten into his eyes, and they're wiggling in his sockets. And I mean, it's a great effect, man. There are a lot of great effects. This is all practical, of course, early 80s, hands-on. They really built this stuff with love, in the sense of a great amount of appreciation for the craft of creating things on site. It's a blast, man. The Deadly Spawn is a fun movie. It is a fun movie. $25,000, and it just goes to show, if you really got a love for filmmaking and you don't have a whole lot of money, of course these days in some ways it's even easier than they had it. Of course, with digital and with the way the equipment is today, makes it a little bit easier, I guess. But you still gotta have a real heart into this to actually want to turn a vision into reality. And I thought they did a pretty good job with that. So The Deadly Spawn from 1983. All throughout the week, vids will be dropping, all of course having a film from 1983. Make our way through the month, and of course as we get it to the end of the month, there's going to be a great theme week, something totally brand new, basically pitting one film against another film. I'm sort of caught between two possibilities. I'm leaning towards the one, probably will go with the one, and if I do, it'll be some old vintage discussion about what should have been the rightful heir in terms of sequel to a particular classic film. All I'll say is Claude Rains is in it. I'm probably going to go that route, but there is another possibility, so I'll just have to see. But anyways, 1983, films from that year. Appreciate the views, appreciate all your support, all that you mean to us. Stay plugged in, and as we just continue to roll with each and every passing day and every single passing week. I better stop now. I'm starting to ramble. All right. Go Bills.
This is not a dream.